What am I making today? I'm carving one of these. I haven't done one for ages, so that's what I'm doing. Just a really basic one to start off with because it's been a while. It's probably been about a year since I've done one of these properly. So I'm going to have a go. I'll mess it up and make a nice lump of firewood. Because it's ash and it burns really well. Nice, nice. I'm sure I'll be alright. Done it for a while. I was meant to be going camping today, but my mate's ill, so we're going to postpone it till next week. Which don't bother me because I'll get paid next week, so I can get myself a loin of pork and I'll wrap it up in tin foil and I'll cook it under the coals of the fire. And it'll be that little bit more special. Take a couple of cans of cider. Yeah, they're good, man. I've got quite a few of them actually. I've done a few. I need to finish one off, but I'm having a little break from it at the moment. Got these guys. All these that I've done. The old twisty handles. Got that one as well, which is the oak one. Which is a bit bent, but I like it because it's followed the grain. And I should really finish this one. Nice. All right, mate, how's it going? That's the one that I've just, just need to finish sanding it. I might do that tonight and give it a little, give her a little whirl, and see if I can make it look nice. That's going to look absolutely fantastic when it's oiled. It's going to look brilliant. I think this is going to be my best, not best looking one, but the wood's going to be the best looking. Hey, mate, how you doing? Not too bad, not too bad. Bit annoyed that I'm not up the woods, but you know, at the end of the day, we can go next week, so it's not a huge issue if my mate's ill, he's ill, and I'm too knackered to be going up there on my own because I've got a bad heart. It's not a good idea for me to be in the woods on my own, so I've just got to grin and bear it. If my heart wasn't knackered, I'd walk up there. I'd go up there on my own and do like a 2-night solo camp up there and live in a shelter under a tree somewhere, you know, like. Nice spoons, thank you very much. Cheers, man. It is appreciated. I'm just having a go at doing a wizard. Having a vizard. We'll get him on the go. Oh, everything's falling over now. But this antique gouge is not the best thing. It's amazing, man. My mate brought it round for me. He brought me round a load of axe heads and he said, "Can you make me a handle for this axe?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course I can." So I made him a nice big ash handle. It's like a broadhead, sort of almost a splitting wedge cross forest axe. So I made him a nice handle for it. And he said, "I've got some gouges for you." And I've got a bloody great big boat builder's one. It's about that wide and about that long. It's massive, it's huge, and that's wicked for making bowls. I need to open my toolbox. I put loads of stuff on top of my toolbox so the kids don't get in there. They don't actually know what's in there because I've got 2 little ones. I've got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. The bigger 2 don't bother with things like that. They're well behaved, but the 2 little ones are little terrors, as they are when they're that age. Did anyone watch my video about my mate getting squashed by a tree in the woods? Anyone see that? Interesting story, and it's got a lot of meaning to it when you go camping and what you should be looking out for. Because yeah, it shows, highlights how dangerous trees are. Hello, Mr. Woodlouse. Sorry, did I disturb you? Am I destroying your home? Problem is, working on the inside of a log like this, it's yeah, it was crazy, man. Right at the end of the day, bloody great big pine tree just squashed my mate. But as I say, he's all right now, and he's back with the land of the living. But you know, it's completely random as well. You know, it's just one of those things. Freak accident. I just remember his missus sitting on the floor in the shed with the ambulance drivers and all that, and they're making sure she was all right, while the other ones were working on my mate. And she looked at me and she said, tell me the truth, is he okay? And I looked at him and I thought, fucking hell, he's fucked. And then I was like, yeah, he's going to be fine. He's absolutely fine. You know what I mean? Like, shit, man. Can't wait to get the pines cut away from the house. Yeah, they love stacking it sometimes, the old pine tree, especially if they've got a bit of rot in them. Keep an eye on the bark. If there's lots of holes in the bark from the old boring beetles and stuff like that, that's always a warning sign. I'm not really a fan of pine forest. I prefer my deciduous. You know, I like a lot of you know, if you go to like a pine forest or a beech forest, there's not a lot of understory. It's all big canopy at the top and nothing underneath. You know, it's all just, it's like dead ground for me. I'm not a fan of it, but I like a bit of ancient forest or a coppice rotation. They're my favourite sorts of woodlands. There's a lot more materials in a coppice rotation. You always get a lot of beech in there as well. Chestnut, hazel, and it's really, really good for like survival and bushcraft. I mean, if you got your ash is good for tool handles. Hazel's really, really good for you know, like building shelters, tripods, you know, cooking on and stuff like that. It's really, really tough. You can build wattle fencing, hurdles with it. It's really good. Chestnut's good for carving. You can make good breadboards out of chestnut. Problem is it's got a lot of tannins in it, so it does make your tools go rusty, so you have to clean your tools afterwards or give them an oil, just a little oil, just to stop them from going rusty, getting that horrible patchy rust on them. But yeah, and the old even holly, you know, holly's beautiful to carve, I think, personally. I just like the colour of it. That is spalted all the way through, that is. So this might look fantastic, but it might be absolutely horrendous. We will see. Oh, let's put a couple of stop cuts in, so as I'm chiseling up, it doesn't go into the face or the nose, as it were. Let's chisel out the cheeks. Give him some cheeks. And then we get a pencil and we draw the outline of the face and the beard. But I don't want too much of a face. I want a beard coming down from the face. So if we put his cheeks in like that, and then his beard can come out of his cheeks. And he's got his big nose there. Lines of such shallow roots, yeah, and they normally sit in like sandy ground or chalky ground as well, which is a nightmare. And they love stacking it, which is yeah, no good for the passerby, as it were. Really. There's another reason I like deciduous forests, as I was saying, is there's a lot of food. I mean, you do get quite a few mushrooms and stuff in pine forests. I always find a lot of pestle puffball in pine forests. Didn't find any penny buns this year, which is a bit annoying, but there's always next year, as they say. Stop cut. There we go. Chisel around his beard. We can get this done. Looking good. Yeah, I think my mate was incredibly lucky that day, even though he did smash himself to pieces. Luckily enough, he didn't snuff it, so it's always a win-win situation. Do some stop cuts. The whole idea of stop cuts is you do a line, so when you're chiseling in, the bit that you're chiseling out stops at the stop cut, and you don't absolutely muller your work. Do his hat. Get his hat done. I need to make a new maul, really. This one took a pound of it. Typical me. I was like, I need to split this log, so I put some metal wedges in it, and I was using this. One thing I see on those bushcraft videos, I comment on. You get a lot of people, and they get a block of wood and they cut it into a square, split it off so it's a nice big square, and they drill through it with an auger, and they put a handle on it and make a mallet. You can do that, or you can just get yourself a decent stick or a fair sized log and just carve a little handle into it and just use that. I mean, it's a lot quicker, and it's a lot stronger as well, because if you're hitting things with that part of the wood, it's going to split bits off, you see. So, but yeah, that's one to think about. This wood looks beautiful. I'm going to go on this side with the softwood. Just peel it off. It's a bit hard doing it that way. I might have to do that side upside down. I think I'll just stick to this side for now. Right, so his beard's going to come off here, off his cheeks. A little bit more of a draw in here. His beard's going to be cut off by the bottom of the log though, which doesn't bother me too much. I need to get a thicker pencil, really. This one's a bit. I have that coming off there, actually. Just a little bit better. Let's scrape that bit off so I'm not. I'll get the nose out. One of the first things you've got to chisel out. Just lightly carve all the features, and then we can go from there. That basic shape of his face and beard in. Now I want to go quite deep into the wood because I want a mixture of the heartwood and the sapwood, so you get two-tone colours in his face, and plus with the spalting as well. But this is from the same log that I'm making this from, so it's got that grey-looking spalt to it, which would be nice. Which would be very nice. More stop cuts. We can get this done. U-gouges, absolutely brilliant things these are. Make life so easy. I used to use a V-gouge, but I'll pretty much carve this whole thing with this U-gouge, except for like the details of the creases in his face and his beard. I'll use a V-gouge for that, a little V-gouge. But I'll just for now, I'll use this U-gouge just to take the excess wood off and give me something to work with. It's a bit wonky, but A very, very good wood carver told me once, you don't want it to be perfect. Faces aren't perfect. They're all right if they're a little bit on the wonky side. It doesn't matter because that side's... So what have we got there? The H. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Just a little bit bigger on one side. There's no bother. We can always thin it down if it looks too dodgy. I don't know if he's on YouTube. I think he's got a YouTube channel. If you want to see a bloke do some carving, check out a man called Kerry Pierce. He's very, very good. Right, so we get the nose board out. Shaking. Put the old shakes on. Stop cuts around the edges so they don't take off too many, too deep, and ruin the face. I really need to get up the wood soon though, because I want to forage up some mushrooms. Found some more agaricus, which is weird this time of year. Normally it's quite cold this time of year for the agaricus, but I found some more agaricus augustus over the back, but they were too old. I haven't seen many jelly ears this year though. I normally see a lot of jelly ears around here, but I have to maybe go deeper into the woods out the back. I mean, I could go camping over there, but I prefer going up into the hills. It's all hawthorn and blackthorn and stuff over the back. It's just a nightmare. Tears you to pieces as you're walking through it. But I could do a camp out up there. But then it's quite close to houses, so there's always a chance of people coming past and dog walkers. Oh, you can't camp here. Well, you know, ain't that anymore. I don't normally wild camp because of that reason. I've got 2 permissions, so I can go up into the South Downs National Park. Or if I can get there and I'm feeling really brave, I can go to Somerset. There's a place in Somerset. My mate owns a small woodland and a big paddock field with an old ruined cottage, and it's on the Mendip National Park, sorry, in Somerset, where right next to Cheddar Gorge. And you get wild goats up there. So it's pretty cool. And there's loads of bat caves go all the way underneath the hills. I was tempted to drop my GoPro down one on a line once, but I thought if I don't get it back, it's a bit of a nightmare. So I didn't bother in the end. But that's a beautiful place to go. You can see when you're up on top of the hill, you can see the lights of Weston-super-Mare off in the distance. You can see the Severn Estuary, and you can see the bottom of South Wales on a clear day. And yeah, it looks bloody fantastic up there. I need to sharpen my gouge, but I'll do it tonight. If I go back on tonight, I'll have a go. Neighbours. Very loud today. This face is coming along. It's starting to come out. We're starting to see some character appearing. Oh no, there's a big split there. How long have you been there for? Don't tell me that's gonna... Oh, dude, why didn't I peel that off to start off with? Is that going to create problems for me? Oh, look, let's take some of that away. Nah, that should be alright. Let's have a little butcher's. Is that gonna... No, that's absolutely fine. I think you got away with that. Let's have a little look, see. Use my knife to do an exploratory peel. Oh no, that's no good. That is no good, said the man with the beard. Oi, oi, oi. And his face was just started taking shape then. Let's see if we can mug that off. Let's see if that's no, that's all right. I've got to bring his cheekbones down anyway to make his beard look like it sticks out, so it's not going to be too much of a huge issue. But where do I want his cheekbones? I want them about there, about there. We shall see how it turns out. It might end up a complete mess. I haven't done this for a while. We shall see. Should have done this outside really. We could have gone to town on it. I have seen you in Bosnia. Did you open for Bruce Dickinson? Who the bloody hell is Bruce Dickinson? Is he the lead singer of Iron Maiden? If I remember rightly. Christ, I'm assuming if I did open for Bruce Dickinson, I'd have some wedge on me, mate, because I'd be semi-famous, wouldn't I? Run to the hills, run for your life. Be awesome, wouldn't it? Well. 666, the number of the beast. No, I've never made a wooden smoking pipe. I've made them out of clay though, not wood. Not really. Not. I'm always concerned about them setting on fire. You know, like burning through it. I'd have to look it up really how to do it properly. I could make a wooden smoking pipe, but you wouldn't be able to smoke with it. It'd just be ornamental. White man came across the sea. Run to the hills stuck in my head now. Run to the hills, run for your life. I've seen Iron Maiden about 3 times in my life. They're pretty good live. Getting on a bit now though, aren't they? All old boys, the old chaps. Well. Who was the bloke that was before Bruce Dickinson? Because he wasn't the original singer, was he? There was a bloke before him, if I remember rightly. Run for your life. Dun, dun, dun. Ask the question and it goes all quiet. Goes all shh, shh, shh. How cool would that be though, opening for Iron Maiden? Dun, 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 dun. When we're working on, I'm carving a face into a piece of ash. Or like a little wood spirit, something like that. Something similar to that. More like that one. The bottom of his beard's been cut off by the log, but it don't matter. They just look cool, man. That's what I'm working on at the moment. Normally I do things like this. There's a spoon that I made the other day. The old twisty handle on it. There's a plain spoon. There's one that I'm working on, which needs sanding. I've done the top bit there, looks cool, but it just needs a sand up. There's another spoonery that I made. That's a cool one. There's another one here somewhere made out of hazel, but it's probably slid down the back. There it is. Yeah. How much? I'm putting them on Etsy soon. I'll put a link up. Keep an eye on my account. I'm going to make a keep an eye on my profile, whatever you want to call it on YouTube. I'm going to be putting them up on Etsy soon. But a few of those are for Christmas presents. Made a little wooden drinking cup. It's called a cookser when you're up in the woods. Little one like that. Bulbous handle. This is made out of spalted sycamore, so you can see where a fungus was growing through the tree as it died. It's one of my favourite little ones. That is. Made a bigger one out of the same bit of wood, but it looks more like a clog. But they're like traditional wooden drinking cups. There's a walking stick that I carved with a barley twist in it. One of my walking sticks. Oh, I've got a little Ganoderma applanatum here. Look, a little bracket fungus. I'm going to use that for fire lighting. Throw an ember onto it and a little spark onto it. And the whole idea of it is you can get a fire going with it. Super cool stuff. Cheers, man. Thank you very much. It is appreciated. I'm glad someone appreciates my work. At the moment, I'm just carving a wood spirit into a piece of ash. I haven't done it for a while, so if I mess it up, it'll make a really pretty looking piece of firewood. Well, it's all firewood at the end of the day, isn't it? Until you turn it into something. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stomach's playing on a bit. A bit of the old water. A bit of water. But yeah, I'm just making a wood spirit. I need to carve a big one really and stick it out. So stick it out the front for Christmas. Make a little herd of reindeer as well when I can get up the woods. What's that stuck to me? That looks gross. How's it going? Yeah, not too bad, man. I'm getting there. Having a little bit of doing some sculpturing today. I still haven't finished that spoon. I'll do that tonight when the kids are in bed. because I can be noisy doing this. Probably pissed off my grumpy neighbour, but oh well. How you been carving wood? What do you mean? What do I use? Is that what you mean? To do the spoons, I use this, either this, or a crook knife to finish the spoons off. What am I carving at the moment? Let me just unclamp it. I'll show you. It's the start of a wood wizard. What's a facey? Needs a bit of work done on there, but it's a bit rotten there. But yeah, that'll be him basically. As you can see there, I've pretty much done this side. His cheeks are going to come down here. That's going to be his face. His beard's going to come off of here. Go down the sides there. There's his moustache. There's going to be his big hooter, and he should look a little bit like something like that, but with a bigger, fatter nose. That's what I'm doing at the moment. I still need to finish this spoono that I made. Yeah, cheers, man. That's awesome. It should look pretty cool. I want to make a big one. I've got a big oak log. Oak's just a bugger, isn't it? Got a big oak log in the shed, and I've got the bottom of an oak tree in the shed, and I've got a couple of big chunks of ash. So I need to have a word with my mate, and next time he's driving past, get him to jump out of his pickup truck and get his chainsaw out and just cut it down to size, really. I've actually got a big stack of sleepers as well in the garden. Looks delicate, I hope, Sandy as well. Oh yeah, it'll be fine, man. I've done loads of these now. I've done loads of these. It's going to be sort of like this one. It's made out of ash, so it's quite tough. I mean, years ago, I don't know. I'll have to have a look in my big box of spoons that I've got. I made the spiral spoons are my favourite ones as well. I'll have to have a look in my box of spoons, but I've got one that I made, and it's actually got a bent handle that curves around like an umbrella handle on it, just for like hanging on the wall. And it's solid. It's made out of oak. You know, it just depends on the tree whether it's big. I did make this yesterday just for a giggle, because when I go camping, I'm always nicking the spoons out the drawer, and I never bring them back. They always sort of stuff. I cleaned out my camping bag, and it had about 10 metal spoons in there, and I was just like, quick, wash them up, get them in the drawer before the missus notices. You know, like where all those spoons come from? But yeah, I've got made this for camping. Just a really basic little oak spoon. Oil's dried on it, so it's got no smell to it now. Just for making cups of tea with, just to stir your tea up. It's a lovely little thing. Just really basic. You should have a camping wooden spoon. That's what I've got. Yeah, exactly like this. So I've got one. I made one for cooking as well. This one's actually for my mate when I see him. Hopefully, I'll be going camping with him soon. He's quite a big creator on TikTok. But I made this one for me, which is made out of cherry. You can see the heartwood on it. Looks fantastic. Love working with cherry. The only bit of cherry I've got now has got a bloody great big knot in it, so I'll have to wait. But I made this one out of ash from a friend. So and it's just a smaller version of the bigger spoons that I do. And that's for like when you're frying stuff up or making a little stew or something like that. Stripe looks lovely. Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? Have you ever made a fork? Yeah, I have. They're just a nightmare to make. You have to make them out of oak. Really, really annoying to make. I could make one. I should do, really. It'd be a 3-prong though, but they're just very, very, very finicky. You know what I mean? Because when you've got your knife in between, like, don't use that, it's covered in oil. So just say these are the prongs of the fork. It's really hard to, if you twist it, pop, just snap the tine, or are they called tines on forks? Snap the tine off. So it's a bit dodge. Spork, yeah, I'll make a spork, yeah, all day long. It's really easy. You just get a spoon and get a wood saw and just carve down with it and the sand in between. Yeah, that's what they're called. Yeah, tines, that's it, yeah. Tines. tell them from Sussex. I can't say Tynes without sounding like a farmer. Tynes. Like when I'm talking to the kids, I'll say, tidy your toys up. Toys. Proper Sussex accent. Are you on TikTok too, or just YouTube? I had an account on TikTok where I was getting like 30,000-40,000 views a pop on my videos. Yeah, bloody Southerners. who were. I was doing really, really well. And me being an absolute caveman, I locked myself out of my account. I couldn't remember anything. The number wasn't working. I couldn't get a sense of my phone. So that account ended up dying on its ass because I can't log into it. Well, it's still a good account. It's still got loads of videos on it and stuff. But yeah, I started another one recently, and it's called Bushcraft.20 or 0.02 or something like that. And that's one of them. And I had one on there called Chris Carves, and because my name's Chris, and it was all my carvings and stuff on there. That one was doing pretty well as well. But I like YouTube because I can post shorts and longer videos. I know my longer videos don't do as well as my shorts. I mean, one of my shorts is on 400,000 views at the moment, but I actually quite like the fact that I can make longer videos and post those and do shorts as well. So it's not bad. I'm not on Instagram. Instagram's pants. I don't really get on with Instagram. I was doing really well on Facebook. I got monetized. My videos were getting like 500,000 views a pop, and then I made a joke about Italian World War II rifles, and yeah, they thought I was trying to sell guns, so I ended up getting demonetized, and they bananaed my account. Tried to make another one, and it just didn't kick off basically. But I am on Facebook as well. Yeah, I know. It's really annoying. I was like, Christ, look at my video. I'll post a video, and within like 10 minutes, it'd have like 30,000 views. I was like, yes, here we go. This is doing really well. And then my mate posted a thing about the Italian army, and me and all my mates are all like World War II fanatics, and I made the old joke about the Italian rifle in the Friday ads, and it says it's only been dropped twice because obviously they used to surrender a lot, didn't they? So and that was it. Boom! I couldn't appeal it or anything like that because what I actually wrote sounded like I was trying to flog guns on there, which I thought was just ridiculous, to be honest with you. But that's the internet nowadays, isn't it? You know, you can't write anything on there. You get there again, I'm sure. Videos are interesting and funny, but yeah, exactly. I mean, I've got the Facebook account bushcraftsussex, and that's my new one. And I should just start posting on there again. But I'm nearly at 1,000 followers, or whatever you want to call them, on Facebook, and it just went dead. And I was like, bloody nightmare. Just be careful what you say now. Yeah, I'm not even going to answer people. I'm just going to put smiley faces instead. I'll have a crack on it. The secret of Facebook is to post the same time every day or whenever. I know a lot of people post once a week and stuff like that, but I've got a lot to say about a lot of videos, so it's just I could probably post 4 of those videos a day on there, but they don't do as well. And I've noticed on here as well, you've got to have a break as well. If you have a couple of days off for posting, it gives it time for your other videos to catch up. But I'm not greedy. I ain't bothered as long as they hit about 1,000 views. I'm really not fussed. You know? I'm not in it. I'm not in it to become famous or hit the big time. You know, I'm waiting for major heart surgery. I just need something to occupy myself. I've created myself a job, basically, just something to do, something that keeps me going. It distracts me. What's my goal with it? Or whatever happens, man. At the end of the day, I mean, it'd be nice to make money off of it, but I'm not too fussed. You know, I'm one of these people. If I had loads of money and I had all this, I had fame and fortune and all that stuff, I'd still live exactly the same life. You wouldn't see me like wearing like really fancy clothes or anything like that. I knew how. Yeah, I got this years ago with a silky saw. Got it free. But you wouldn't see. I'd still be wearing this same scabby old hoodie that I love. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, when my granddad passed away, I got about 150 grand, and I didn't like get anything fancy. You know, I bought all the kids like new beds, new furniture for the house, and all that sort of stuff. But I didn't, I weren't going out buying myself. You know, like, well, I did buy a pair of Dr. Martens boots, but I don't. You know, the things that I really enjoy are going up the woods and having a fire. You know, that's what I really enjoy. I really enjoy going fishing. You know, it's I don't need to spend loads of money on all this rubbish, and you know, that people buy, and they're just, you know, I've got to have the latest phone. I've had the same phone for 5 years. You know, it's just it's no bother for me. I don't get all that. It's like when you go fishing and people are like, "Oh, what have you got? What gear have you got?" I was like, "Well, I bought these rods when I was 17. You know, like 23 years ago, and they're just 2.5 test curve Daiwa rods. You know, they've done me my whole life. I've never had an issue with them. I've never needed to get anything better. You know, unless it breaks, I won't get a new one." And I notice a lot of creators, a lot of bushcraft creators, are always saying what they've got and, you know, what they're using and all. I don't do any of that. You know what I mean? It's like someone says, "What tarp are you using?" I'm like, "Tarp." You know, like it ain't anything special. It ain't like, you know, I'm not trying to get bloody sponsored by all these outdoor companies and stuff like that. You know, I'm not here to try and get advertising deals and all that stuff. It's just a tarp, you know. What coat are you wearing? Oh, a really old barber jacket that I've had for 20 years. You know, it's just like I don't fall into all that. We call them tackle tarts in fishing, but you know, I needed a new sleeping bag. My sleeping bag, you know, because when the down gets squashed, eventually they're just not as warm. So I bought a new sleeping bag, and my mate was like, "What sleeping bag you got?" I was like, "I don't know. I just went online and looked up, you know, 4 seasons sleeping bag and bought one. I didn't get any recommendations for it and all that. My backpack, I've had my backpack since I was 16 at college. It's an old Highlander one, and that thing's bloody brilliant. It's been in a lake and everything. You know, it's just wicked. Yeah, I want to spend more on it. Exactly, that's it. I use ugly stick fishing pole. It's a 50 quid fishing pole, and I do that stuff too. Yeah, exactly, man. I when I was a kid, I bought a telescopic whip. And it's for like catching like roach and rudd and gudgeon and dace, all the little fish and stuff like that. It hasn't got a reel on it. It's just like a pole, you know. And you tie the line to the end, and you catch the whip. I caught a 15-pound carp on it off the surface. I didn't know what to do. I was walking around the lake with it, going around trees. Yeah, I managed to wrangle it in the end. And someone walked past, and they're like, "Oh, that's a cracking little, you know, medium-sized carp, that is." So what'd you catch it on? I was like a bit of bread and size 16 hook and an old whip. And it's like, "A whip?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got it on a whip." I wear army surplus jackets now. They last forever and they're cheap. Some are really cool too. Yeah, army surplus stuff's wicked, man. It's really good. I like inherited tools rather than new ones, sharp and better quality. Exactly. I've got some really good antique ones. I've got an antique draw knife, big old antique draw knife, and my mate gave it to me. And it's just, you know, like this. This is an old antique chisel. This had 1918. I had the original box for it. It's still in the cupboard somewhere. It's an old sharpening stone. It's like World War One, you know, World War One bloody sharpening stone. It's pucker. The new tools are rubbish. I mean, my mate gave me a set of chisels from like the 60s, and they're absolutely banging, man. They're really, really good chisels. All different shapes, size, gouges, all the bent ones and everything. They're all in my toolbox. I'll just use this because it's easier. But I've got them all, and I can't. What did I swap? Oh, I think I swapped a what was it? Can't remember what I swapped, but I swapped something for it. You know what I mean? I was like, "Oh," he's like, "Oh, have you got this and this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've got 2 of them. Why, do you want one?" He goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, awesome." He goes, "I'll pay for it." I said, "No, that's all right." I said, "You ain't got any old chisels kicking around, have you?" And he goes, "Yeah." Chisel girls, mate. What do you mean? What's going on, chap? Not much. I was carving. Now I've just got onto a tangent. But, we're starting to do a wizard. You can see like the rough drawing on there. It should look a bit like that when I'm done. Ish. I'm just doing it on a bit of ash. His beard's not going to go all the way down to the bottom, but chisel gouge. What do you mean chisel gouge? I buy vintage tools from car boot. They're all going to outlive me. Exactly, they do, man. They're the old tools are the best tools. You won't beat the steel on them. Do I sell them when I finish with them? I'm starting up at Etsy, so if you keep an eye on my account. I'm going to make some big boys, some big ones for the garden. Sheffield steel, yeah, Sheffield steel's brilliant. There you go. Sean, is it? Yeah, Sean. There you go. I'll make things like that as well, like wooden spoons. Make plain wooden spoons. I like these ones as well because they're just really simple and basic. I've got a couple of these in my kitchen, using for making bolognese and stuff like that. I need to finish rebuilding my cider press for next year because I am going to go mad with the cider. I'm going to make a load of it. I need to get hold of a barrel. Doesn't matter what sort of barrel it is, if it's a coopered barrel or a big plastic barrel or a big drum or a food grade, 25-gallon screw-on plastic lid, anything like that. Just purchase the wood lathe to play around with a bit. I'm chuffed to bits with it. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I've got a mate, actually, when he was at college, he made a pole lathe and he dismantled it and put it in his garage, and he said I can have it, but I was like, if I put it in the garden, the kids are going to think it's a climbing frame and just destroy it. And he's like, well, I've got an electric one you can have. And I was like, mate, don't tell me stuff like that. I'll be building a shed specifically for it in the garden. You know what I mean? I'll be going on bloody Facebook selling page and trying to find stuff to make some mead. Oh, make some mead. Yeah, I've made mead before, man. Mead's awesome. About 3 months, mate, and it's good as gold. Mead's one of those things, the longer you leave it, the worse it gets. But you can knock mead up to about 14-15%. Just make sure you get the right yeast. Oh, excuse me. I bought a pound of honey, natural honey, from one of the local guys. Just look for your local beekeepers, man. They do your deals on honey and stuff like that. If you go to them, you can get some good deals on a decent amount of honey. Mead's really, really, really easy to make. Don't need to add any sugar, obviously. Hot water, waiting, put it in a bucket, a setting bucket, not a setting bucket. That's what you use when you're knocking that plaster. A fermentation bucket. Whack it in there, boiling hot water on it, wait until it cools down to about 18 degrees, put your yeast in there, leave it for about a week. Once it's really, really frothing up and it looks like someone's chummed it in there, mix it up, strain it through. If you want to strain it, you can leave it raw if you want, and then whack it in demijohns with fermentation locks on top. Yeah, I don't drink a lot. I made not last year, the year before, I made 14 gallons of slow wine. There was all these blackthorn bushes around the corner, and they were just covered in sloes. And I was like, I've got to do something with them. So I picked them all. I've got the big, massive fermentation buckets. So I filled them up. I filled 2 and 3/4 buckets up there, 5-gallon buckets up. And when you're making slow wine, this is going to sound disgusting, but what you do is you get all your slows, you put them in a bucket, put the right amount of boiling water in it, and then you put the lid on and stick it in the cupboard for a couple of months. And then when it's got about that much mold on top, I mean like proper thick shitload of mold, you scoop all the mold off, you strain it out for a what's his name, for like a cloth or whatever, and then that's what you put your yeast in and your sugar in, and then you mix that up, and the mold actually brings out the flavour of the seeds, the cyanide, if you were, because they're part of the prunus family. They're actually related to plums, hawthorn, damsons, your ball lace and all that sort of thing. Cheesecloth, yeah, sort of like a cheesecloth, but it's more of a mesh. It's more like more like that, like a mesh. But yeah, you can use a cheesecloth. But yeah, I've got a bloody great big steel in there as well. But yeah, anything prunus, man, really makes really, really nice wine. I don't drink wine. I think it's disgusting. But I did swap. I've got a mate who does a lot of shooting, so I swapped him a load of wine for 6 pheasants and 4 partridge. That was cool. I might give him a shout, actually, see if he wants any spoons, and he can drop me off a load of birds, and I can do a cooking video. I can do a video. I don't know if YouTube like that sort of thing where you're sitting there peeling birds and stuff, but I can definitely take some up the woods, cook them on a spit maybe, or underground. It's a good swap. Yeah, it's decent, man. But me being an idiot, he said, "What do you want, pheasants or venison?" I was like, "Oh, pheasants. Love pheasant." Thinking back now, I should have said venison, but but I wanted to show my stepson how to prepare a bird. You know what I mean? How to skin and guts. I mean, pluck and guts. I mean, I skinned a couple of them, and then I plucked a couple of them, and yeah, it was really good. I'm a vegetarian, but considering starting to eat meat that's been hunted, you can buy it online. Yeah, I tell you what, it's more ethical, man. It's more, you know, like, I mean, I'm not a vegetarian by any means, but I can understand, you know, why people want to be vegetarians and stuff like that. Is when you get the extreme vegans and all that, and they're like, oh, it's so cool killing animals. And I was like, well, when you go to an arable farm, I'm going to be controversial here. When you go to an arable farm and they're growing all your vegetables and all your crops and stuff that you eat, it's a desert. There's no life there. Everything has been killed. The soil's dead. The soil's dead. And what they do is they add stuff to it to make the soil so they can grow whatever they want to grow that particular year. Anything that's eating the crops gets eradicated. Anything that could threaten the crops, any of the vegetables, just gets killed off. So they're actually killing more animals than, you know, say you've got a field with like 23 cows in it. My mate used to have an organic farm and he had cows. He didn't actually send any of his cows for meat. He actually bred rare breeds of cows. So he had like Aberdeen Angus, he had Limousine, he had the big hairy Highland cattle and stuff like that. You know, it was a really cool farm, and the wildlife was absolutely unreal. You had buzzards, kestrels, you had foxes. The place was covered in rabbits, squirrels, stoats, weasels. You know, you name it. It was an absolute abundance of everything there, and it was really, really nice. It was just a lovely little farm. But you get an arable farm, it's just dead. There's nothing there. You know, they spend a lot of time shooting the pigeons as they come down to eat the seeds. You know, the old farmer will sit there popping the pigeons off and eating them, which is fair enough, because I don't like, I mean, me personally, I don't like trophy hunting. You know, if you're going to go and shoot something just for the sake of shooting it, I think that's horrible. You know, have a little bit of more respect for the animal. As I said to my mate, I don't kill anything unless I'm going to eat it. And I'd never like pay to go and shoot something like a lion or something like that. You know, if you could eat them, you know, and there was one like harassing the sheep, maybe, but I wouldn't. You know, it's just, to me, it just seems like a waste. Can't stand factory farming. Not hunting seems quite fair, to be honest. Yeah, man. I mean, I like squirrels. Squirrels, lovely. My mate said to me, "How can you eat a squirrel?" So they're nut fed. You know what I mean? They live the wild life. They're perfect. They're everywhere. They're a pest. They kill trees. You know, it's just one of those things. No, trophy hunting isn't hunting for food. Totally makes sense. Yeah, it does, exactly. That's it. I mean, you find a lot of indigenous cultures. They take what they need and then leave the rest. You know, because they want the rest there to take when they need it. You know. It just seems completely crazy to me to go out and just kill something for no reason. I don't even like squashing spiders. You know, if someone says, "Oh, it's a spider, kill it," I'll be like, "What, you're going to eat it? What's he doing? That spider's sitting there getting rid of all the mosquitoes and stuff for you. They're brilliant, awesome little things." Yeah, exactly. You should only be able to buy organic meat. Industrial meat production's awful. When I used to work, I used to go to the local butchers, and they'd tell you where the cow come from, and what you know, what it was eating, you know, where it used to wake up in the field and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It was really sort of, you know, you knew where your meat was coming from. You know, there's a lot of farms around here and stuff like that. I think a lot of people should buy off the farmers instead of all this, you know, like going to big abattoirs and all that sort of stuff. I think the animals should be killed and butchered on the land where they live. You know, someone turns up and does it for you, and you give them some meat or a cut, like they used to do. You know, they used to have a pig man. The pig man would come round, and he'd have a pole axe, and he'd do your pigging for you, and then he'd chop it up, butcher it, make it into sausages and whatever, and he'd take a portion and give you the rest. You know, it's more of a natural life. It's more of, you know, you're more in touch with your animals and what you're eating. It's more personal. You know where it comes from. You know, if I had a couple of pigs, they'd be eating all the stuff from my kitchen. You know, if I had chickens, I'd be going around at night picking up all the slugs and stuff for them. I'd be, you know, it's just one of those things. We've completely lost touch with what our food is and where it comes from and everything like that. It's complete madness. I think everyone should at least have an acre or two of their own that they could use, you know, and produce their own food. I mean, you cut out a lot of travelling with lorries and pollution and all that sort of thing. You cut out a lot of these factory farms where everything's all just bloody just mass produced and bringing meat over from Brazil and stuff like that. It's just completely pointless. If I had 2 acres of land, I'd have every year I'd probably have 3 pigs and I'd keep one all the time, just as, you know, like as a pet, you know, just as sort of a waste disposal for all the organic stuff. I'll have about 10 chickens, you know. I'll probably have a couple of goats for goat milk. If I had enough room, probably a cow, you know, and that would be, you know, you can get your mate who's got a bull to come breed your cow, and then you can have a steer and it's beef and all, you know, and all that sort of stuff. What's this? They're going to die somehow, maybe being taken up by the prey rips bits. Exactly. Well, the cow has its for his 4th birthday. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. I like to rear my own animals. I would if I had my own land. Yeah, same here, man. Definitely. Yeah, that's what we all need. I'd love a load of chickens too. Yeah, same here, man. Like my mate who had the farm. He didn't farm chickens, but he had about 20 chickens for eggs, and he used to give me a load of eggs. And I actually lived in the woods on his farm for about 3 or 4 months one year in the summer, and I was helping him out with all his hay production and stuff like that, because he was like a one-man band. But people used to come around to help, like my mates and all that, like from the town, all the townies and all that, and they'd be like, "Oh, why don't we eat a chicken?" He's like, "What? You're not going to eat my chickens?" He goes, "How pointless is that? Imagine having a chicken, eating it, and then you've eaten it, it's gone. Or you could live off of its eggs." You know what I mean? It's just completely ridiculous. Yeah, goat's cheese is good, mate. I like goat's cheese. Woman's food is farmed for profit, not to feed people. Exactly. Yeah, it's just all, you know, like the meat looks sad, doesn't it, when you get it in that little plastic thing, and it's just doesn't look good. And then you go to the butchers and you got like a bit of beef that's been hung for 28 days, you know, and it's lovely. I mean, if my heart wasn't knackered, I'd be going beating 3 times a week, and I'll come back with a couple of brace of pheasants, prepare them, stick them in the freezer, you know, and they do me. Yeah, man. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's all. I mean, Christ, when I was a kid, you fried a bit of bacon. You fried a bit of bacon. Nowadays, you fry a bit of bacon and it's having a swim first before it's cooked. It's just like, what's going? Where's the bacon? What's going? Why's it all watery and all that? It's horrible. Just no good for anyone. It's no good for the animals. It's no good for the people. Greed takes over, man. If everyone wasn't greedy, the planet would be a paradise. Everyone would have everything they need. They'd live a healthy lifestyle. I mean, check out, if you want to, obviously check out. It's on YouTube. Ray Mears did a series years ago, and it's called Wild Food. And he's got a paleo botanist with him, and they go around and they look at what our ancestors ate and what they could have eaten. And he's saying like it's such a healthy diet. Everything's seasonal. Everything's fresh. You know, it's just crazy, man. Greed has ruined it all for us. Yeah, it has indeed. I mean, and another thing is just pumping all this shit into the sea, mate. You know, I could go down the beach now and I could get enough cockles to feed me for a week. Winkles, limpets. I'm not a fan of limpets, but they eat limpets in Portugal. My missus is Portuguese, and she reckons she could cook me a nice limpet. So, what's it called? Just type in Ray Mears Wild Food. It starts off. He's in Australia with the Aborigines, and they're showing him how they live and what they eat and stuff like that. And he uses the information when he comes back to England, and he goes round and he's eating like pig nuts, sorrel, like sea kale, his lesser celandine, like the roots from lesser celandine, and all these different things. It's really, really good. I live by the coast. In the ocean certain times. Exactly. Yeah, warned. Yeah, 100%, mate. Yeah, I live the sea for me is about a 10-15 minute walk that way. I'm really, really close to the coast. I used to live in an old train carriage years ago on the beach. It was awesome. And now I won't trust anything. my mate caught a bloody great big huss, you know, the old dogfish, rock salmon the other day. And I was like, "You gonna eat it?" And he's like, "No, probably not. No, I'm just gonna send him back to the sea. You know, like I don't really want to eat it." You know, all those Richard III's floating around in there. It's just not good for anyone. Nowhere in this planet has been untouched by man now. It's just disgusting. Yeah, it's horrible, mate. You know, I live next to I've got a river, big river, over that way. The coast obviously goes all the way around the whole of England, but I've got a bit of coast down there, and I've got the South Down National Park with all the chalk streams and stuff like that. But I still wouldn't, you know, like I'd get a crayfish license, but I don't trust the water. I don't, you know what crayfish eat. They live off of shit, don't they? So it's like, you know, like all this sewage pumping and all this stuff is just, it's ruined our natural landscape and our ability to take natural food from the land. The only thing I do is you know, like wild food, edibles, you know, like plants and stuff like that. I'll still go out foraging and I'll bring stuff back, but they're more for flavour than anything. You know, like the staples, like, you know, it's like, you know, things like, obviously you can't dig up roots unless you've got permission. So like every now and again, there's not much in my mate's forest because it's an ancient woodland. But I'd love to dig up some big burdock roots and cook up some burdock roots in the fire. You know, there's a place in America still no man has set foot on. Yeah, 100%. But I guarantee you, pollution's affecting it in some way, or you know, it's that's what I mean. But untouched by man, everything on the planet's just had some sort of interference somewhere along the line. You know, there's always that one thing, isn't there? Yeah, definitely. It's the same. I'd like to look for mushrooms. I really want a giant puffball. Yeah, giant puffballs are awesome, man. One of the ones that I've never actually eaten a giant puffball. I used to see them all the time when I was a kid. Now I'm learning mushrooms. I can't find any of them anywhere. Wrong time of year for them now, though. It's too far gone. End of the summer for the giant puffball. There's a lot of pestle puffballs around here, which are all right. They're the ones that when they spore, you touch them and all the spores shoot out, and they go everywhere. I've got one of my videos actually where I'm looking for mushrooms. I'll tap him on with a stick and see all the spores come out. Looks really cool at night if you put a torch underneath them and then tap them and you see all the spores coming out in the light and it's like smoke. It looks really cool. That's always a fun thing to do. Some mushrooms as well. You can see liberty caps. Yeah. Yeah, not for me these days, but there was a time we used to go and get bin bags of them. They're everywhere around here. I live near a place called Arundel, and it's an ancient town. Call it a town. It's more like a village, but it's got the one of the only castles in England where someone still lives in it, and it's a proper big old castle. It's a museum as well. People go around there and stuff. Chicken of the forest or chicken of the woods or hen of the woods. Chicken of the woods, the sulphur polypore, the big orange one, big yellowy orange. I'm colourblind. I have to put my colourblind glasses on when I go mushroom foraging. It's like a big yellow bracket fungus. Is that the one you're on about? The sulphur polypore. We call it a chicken of the woods. There is a castle. Yes, there is a castle indeed. It's just around the corner from me. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Chicken of the woods. And you get hen of the woods, which looks like a big cluster of turkey tails. I've eaten giant puffball. Was disappointed. Tasted like dirt. Exactly like that. Yeah, some of them do. Like a lot of wild foods are quite bitter. Yeah, I'd love to try chicken of the woods. Great for vegetarians. Apparently, yeah, it is. Yeah. The only thing is with chicken of the woods is you've got to try a little bit first because it can cause gastric upset with some people. But you can get blackening polypore as well, which is a similar mushroom. There are bracket funguses. Give them a try, man. It all depends what you do with these things. You know, if you know what you're doing and you eat them all the time. I mean, I've seen people make some really nice looking dishes out of puffballs, but Christ, they've even got slime molds and stuff in there. Aplanatum ganoderma. One of these. Pulled up on one of those. These things, use them for firelighting, but they stink of burnt hair. They're disgusting smelling. No, shiitake are nice, man. Oyster mushrooms as well. Oyster mushrooms are lovely. Chlorophyllum rhacodes. That's the shaggy parasol. Where are we? It's not going to be under chicken in the woods. It's going to be this other. Morel mushrooms are big over here. Everyone, loads of. I've got a load of dried morel mushrooms up on top of my cupboard. The Morchella petaris, the morel mushroom. They're really popular. Yes. Two. There we go. There's the old chicken in the woods. That's the chicken in the woods. Yeah, morels, you've got to make sure they're cooked, well cooked when you eat them. I know a fella on here who does a lot of he professionally picks mushrooms, and he gets buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets of them. One of my mates from Canada sent me a load of mushrooms as well, dried mushrooms in the post. Sent me a load of chugger. Can't really get chugger down here, which is annoying, but it doesn't get cold enough down here for it to grow. What is it? Obliquus? Oh, I can't remember the second name. But they're really, that's a really cool sort of bracket fungus. Excuse me. Blow my nose. Make sure I haven't got any boogers stuck in my moustache. But yeah, I love mushrooms. I love learning about them. Lots of different ones. Looks like ginger, yeah. When you peel it apart, it's like chicken meat. Really, really cool. Off, mate, walking the dog, take it easy, dude. Yeah, man, enjoy yourself. I'm going to jump off in a second because it's getting to the time where my missus brings the kids back from school and I have to put the dinner on. Being lazy tonight, having pizza. Very rare we do, but the kids enjoy it. I don't particularly. But not the shop bought ones. I like making my own pizzas. I make really, really good dough, really good bread as well. There's no ginger. I'm Cherokee. Mushrooms. Oh, awesome, man! Yeah, that's really cool, man. That's really cool. That's sweet as a nut, man. That's sweet. So you would have been brought up with the mushrooms and going out foraging and stuff like that. You know, like that's wicked, man. We used to go foraging when we were younger with my grandparents, but it was more sort of like hedgerow foraging for like fruits and nuts and stuff like that, and edible plants like the wild garlic and the three-cornered leeks and stuff like that. You know, things like that. Never any mushrooms really. I think my granddad used to know a few agaricus, but I've been learning mushrooms for the last 3 years. But there's quite a few I don't trust myself with. Because of obvious reasons. Some of them are absolutely lethal, aren't they? They're completely mulia, but yeah, I do like eating mushrooms. Some of the flavours you get from them are amazing. And as you're saying about the morels as well, they're a really good mushroom. I'm 56. My grandmother showed me everything to use when I was younger. Yeah, that's really cool, man. That's really cool. So it's something that's always been there, isn't it? You know, it's something that's comes naturally to you. There's me like with all my books and all that. Look, I'm trying to work out what everything is. It's a bit of a nightmare. But right, anyway, I'm gonna have to dash because I'm gonna have to put some food on for the kids when they get back because they'll be back soon. And Friday night, so probably watch a film or something. Well, they will. I don't really watch TV. I'd rather be doing like my carvings and stuff, you know, like doing my little wizards and my little woodsman and all that, and making my spoons, carving up my old spoons with the twizzle handles and all that, making wooden cups and walking sticks and stuff like that. I've forgotten a lot. You can still relearn it though, you know, you get yourself a decent book, you can still relearn it. But nice talking to you. I've got to go, and I'm on every day anyway, so if you want to jump in again, be awesome to talk to you. Anyone else that's watching, thanks for watching. I was started carving a wizard, but I got distracted with conversations about food, one of my favourite subjects. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good weekend.